This PowerPoint presentation is devoted to the matter of preparing and taking your exam essays and understanding the procedure I use to grade them. I've related the same information multiple times to students in live classes over the years, and by following these points of advice you improve your chances of earning a better score on this pair of assignments. To begin, here are some pointers for preparation. The best way to learn the material is to engage with it and to stay on schedule. This means keeping up with the weekly readings, quizzes, and discussion postings. A related strategy is to make it a point to recognize and remember some key detail about each author and work. Doing some basic extra research, a Google search, a reading of a Wikipedia page, watching a YouTube clip, should help greatly in this regard. It also may help to recognize that these assignments are open book and open note, so you can refer to your materials throughout the process of completing them. Here is my advice for Part 1. This section involves passage identification and contextual discussion, i.e. short essay. Remember that although you have 8 passages listed, you're only required to identify by author and work and discuss any 5. If you want to work on more, I'll grade all of your completed passages and will total up the highest 5 grades. If there's a key word to this section, it is context. After you identify a passage, explore its meaning in relation to some larger concept, the work's larger themes, the author's preoccupations, the concerns of the work's historical time frame, etc. Use Google as you see fit, but only do so as needed to fill in your contextual awareness about a passage, the work it comes from, and the author who wrote it. As you write your 4 to 5 sentence explication of the passage, move beyond summary or overtly abstract discussion. Again, provide context by connecting the passage to the larger matters described above. Finally, realize that cutting and pasting in replies from Googled sources without attribution generally will not work for this kind of exam. Not only will your Googled sources likely not fit the parameters of the assignment, but you're also likely to light up my plagiarism detector, and that's definitely something to be avoided. Here's my advice for Part 2. Basically, this longer essay follows a fairly familiar comparison-contrast discussion format, and that means you do well to follow certain practices to avoid the common trap of structuring your essay in ways that compromise your goals of exploring related ideas within 2 distinct works. This essay should include some recognizable thesis, a clear controlling claim, as opposed to a basic statement of intention, that shows an interpretive angle and is supported and developed in the paragraphs below. After posing this thesis, each subsequent paragraph should at least mention, or better, quote from both works to develop the comparison and contrast structure, and should take pains to discuss what's established in the quoted material. Good essays should have enough internal structure, i.e. paragraphs, to develop the thesis appropriately, and then you should include a conclusion to wrap up, reiterate, and perhaps push the essay's central premises in a bit more detail. Finally, once you've completed the essay, here are a few words about how I grade it once you submit it to the D2L Dropbox. Basically, you're submitting the essay there, documents that you've completed it, and within a day or 2 following the published due date, I will download each submission to begin grading with the goal of returning within a week to 10 days based on the size of the class. I will grade off of a file I create and leave on my computers, and so to assure that your work is graded and returned within this schedule, it is always best to make the publish deadline. It is worth reiterating here a couple of key points about this procedure. First, it is better to turn in your assignments on time rather than late. Secondly, if you do miss a deadline, it is still worth your while to turn the work in, as I will grade it, eventually, without penalty. I fit my grading of late submitted work in as I'm able, offering only limited feedback and a basic number grade. So although your grade won't suffer much per se, the delay and the limited feedback represent the penalty. Please do keep in mind that much of my semester is spent grading student work, and the semesters have shown that this system offers the best compromise between your requirement to submit your work on D2L and my need to maintain a schedule to keep the semester moving forward smoothly. I hope this presentation has been helpful, and good luck on these assignments.